Okay? You'll never, ever get a business loan from that person without a business plan. Because he wants to know that you know what the hell you're doing before he ever gives you any of his money. Does that make sense? He wants to know where you're getting the food at, how you're getting the food, who's paying for the food, where's the shop coming from, where's the silverware coming from, what's the code at. He wants to know everything that you have going on, he wants to know about. Okay? Same thing in concept, except for we, as a great community of real estate investors, skip this plan right here and say, I don't need a business plan. I'm just going to jump into this and see what happens. I'm going to roll the dice as if we're living in Vegas, and we'll just see if this whole thing works out. Okay? A lot of investors fell in real estate because they have no idea where they're going in real estate. They're just aimlessly wandering around in real estate. Let me move on. Mentorship, which is capitalizing all three levels of the mentors. Most of the mentors you can get for free, guys. You don't have to pay $55,000 for a mentor. Most of the mentors that you use, you can get in your local. You may hear from the local REIAs. Surely there's people from the local. Okay, there's some of the greatest advice you can ever get at your local REIAs. All right, most of the mentors you can get from the local REIAs. Let me keep going. Let's look at, I'm going to pull up mindset. Out of those three here, I'm going to pull up mindset. Becoming a real estate business owner. We'll look at this one concept, real estate. So we're still under create change, underneath mindset, and in mindset, the definition is becoming a real estate business owner. So there's 4 pillars of the change mindset, basically. Okay, there's the 4 pillars that you'll build inside of your business. You have to know these 4 definitions. What is it that motivates you, the direction of which you're headed, what is your education, and organization. Those are the 4 pillars that you build inside of your business model, okay? So as you're getting started and you're trying to build a business and work on this mindset underneath your business, you have to know what motivates you. You have to know where you're going. You have to continuously get education. Do you know why you continuously get education in real estate, including me?
Changes.
Because it changes constantly. Real estate is not this. Real estate is this. So if I got up here today and taught you how I built a business in 2004, do you know what that would do for you? Nothing. Because what I did in 2004 does not work right now. That makes sense? So real estate has always changed. You always be educating yourself in business, and the last is organization. Now, ask your question. What is it that holds you back from growing and becoming a successful business owner? Being this. You buy into this thing that I'm up here telling you about, and you say, okay, I'm going to be a real estate business owner, and I'm going to create a real estate plan, and I'll have a strategy, okay, and I'm going to try to build this business. What is it at that point, and since it's not going to be, the answer is not knowledge and fear and money, what is it that holds you back from actually leaving this world of small deal-by-deal type of investing and move into this world of creating real wealth through real estate? You know the number one thing that holds these investors back? You have the strategy, okay? You have secure funding, but you cannot grow. What is this holding you back? Am I numbers?
Fear.
It's not fear. You got the knowledge now.
Lack of systems.
Lack of systems, okay?
A day job.
Like a day job. A GD day job.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
Motivation.
Motivation. Here's the thing that is organization. Organization is the thing that holds you back from growing. Because this type of business model, if this is a bit, and when I refer to this is a deal by deal, slowly trying to grow. This right here doesn't really take organization. It really doesn't. You can do this by the seat of your pants. You can run around and make decisions. I'm going to show you in just a second what I'm talking about. You can run around and make decisions on the fly if you want to. But to go from right here into real estate investing, it takes organization. And without it, you will not grow. Period. It's not going to happen. So how do we get organized? What are some of the things that we can do to organize so that we can become a real estate business? All right, that makes sense? Let's keep going. I'm talking fast. Oh, sorry.
Good.
Rebecca, can you give me a glass of water, please? So some sort of water. Or alcohol, whichever one. All right, step 1, create change. Let's look at this. Look at organization for a second. Organizing your materials and SKU list. Here's one of the things that we do that has drastically helped us as a business, okay? So here we are. You have a buy, fix, and sell. I mean, half this room does buy, fix, and sell. Here we are. We're doing this buy, fix, and sell opportunity, right? We got this house. We buy this house. We're totally stoked about it. And now here comes a god-awful amount of questions that we have to answer, okay? One of the things you have to answer is, what am I putting inside of this property, okay? If I can find it, I'll show it to you. It's in this book, I can assure you. I built this book. Oh, here it is. All right. All right, so one of the things we have to do is we have to figure out what is going inside this property, okay? Meaning that we now own this property, and now here comes the decisions. As fast as they come, here comes the decisions for you, okay? Now here's what happens to most investors. They buy this house, and they start working on this property, and they go hire their contractor, and then the contractor asks for some materials, and so you run to Home Depot or Lowe's, wherever you go, and you get materials, okay? I have to say Home Depot every time I talk because Home Depot sponsors us, okay? So I go to Home Depot, and then you grab that shopping cart, right? The big orange one, and you got like 5 of them. And then the investor's walking up and down the aisle, and they start throwing stuff onto the shopping cart, okay? And you have your list written off a cardboard piece of paper that the contractor gave you that's written in pencil. Anybody know what I'm talking about before? Okay? If you flip properties, you know what I'm talking about. So, you give him that material, and then in about 4 or 5 days, he calls you back and says, hey, I need the tile that you're looking for. Look for that tile. And you say, oh, hold on, I'm at work right now at that day job that you refer to. I'm at the day job, so I can't get it for you. But in about, at 7 o'clock tonight, I'm going to go run by Home Depot, I'll pick up the tile for you, and I'll swing by the house on Saturday. Now, what happens to that contractor in between that time frame right there? What does that contractor do?
He has a 4-hour lunch.
He's out, man. He is gone, right? He's going to the next job. He doesn't make money just like you have to make money. If you can't keep the materials coming in, he's off to the next job, right? So here's one of the things that we did to create systems inside of our company. We call this Home Depot SKU sheet. Basically, it goes through the entire property that we do. So my project manager, we have one of these for every single property we do. We take this SKU sheet, it goes room by room of what material we have to have as far as design material. Because the last thing I'm going to do is let a contractor design my property, right? Does that make sense? And you talk about just a god-awful decision. 2 god-awful things you'd ever do. Number 1, let a contractor design your material, your product, or your house for you. And number 2, pay him half up front and then walk away from the property, okay? Yeah, very good, right? Because if you do that, normally, and I love contractors, they build my business, but normally contractors, when you pay them up front, they're paying in arrears for other jobs they just left off of, okay? So they're sort of catching up on these jobs. So, saying that, we take the SKU sheet, which goes through the entire property. I'll give you an example. So let's go through a master bathroom for a second. So when I go through the master bathroom, it says master bathroom here, it says floor tile. Beside that is a SKU number, and beside that is a quantity, okay? So then what we do, Eric, is if you're my contractor, I'll pay project manager, I'll pay the investor for a second. The only thing I do as the project manager say, Eric, I need floor tile in my master bathroom. How much square feet do I need for this master bathroom? Okay, and what would you say? About 40 square feet. Great answer, I love it. I would put in 40 square feet. Then I would say, well, how about my shower towel? How much shower, because I gotta need shower towel too, right? How much shower towel do I need?
About 10 square.
That's 70. Okay, so you need about 70 square feet, okay? So I would put 70 square feet here, right? So I would go through and I list, only thing I'm putting here is what material, how much of that material that I need. That's what I'm doing. I'm going through the entire property with my contractor and listing the material that I need. From there, this goes straight to Home Depot's Pro Desk, right? Do I go take this to Home Depot, or does my project manager take this to Home Depot? No. Lord, no, right? Here's what we do. We'll organize our selection by everything building off of SKU systems. We never go to Home Depot to randomly shop for materials. Secondly, we'll do procuring, which means we take this, we send this to Home Depot's Pro Desk. Home Depot, within 24 hours, calls me back as Andrew, your total amount of material is $12,318, okay? So I just got about 95% of my material all at one hit, instead of how most investors do it, piece by piece by piece, by randomly doing it, randomly going to Home Depot, randomly buying stuff. They have no idea how much this job is even going to cost them. I'll prove you this way. We do this before the job ever starts, right? So before my job ever starts, I actually know how much money I'm going to spend in material, okay, which is very valuable when you're flipping properties, instead of getting into it and going week by week buying materials, right? So next thing is procurement. The last thing here is delivery. I nor my staff goes and picks up material from Home Depot. Home Depot delivers all this material to my job site, because if my material is there, what does that allow my contractor to do? Work at as fast as speed as he can. Basically, I'm not getting in his way. Makes this question.
And how detailed do you get on your materials, unless you said it's a design item? Like if you're buying tile, what about the stuff that sticks the tile to the floor?
Durock and the mortar and all that stuff. All that stuff is done inside here. The main thing the SKU sheet does, okay, is your design materials. I don't need a SKU for a Durock, okay? However, it's on here for, okay, how much Durock do we need, how much mortar do we need, how many bags of mudding and taping do we need. All that's on there, but not the SKUs, because Home Depot pick up the SKUs himself, and all I need to know is he needs to tell me that it's there, but I don't have to design it per se.
Another question. For instance, a little detail that I ran into,
yeah,
like the hoses and the little things that go behind a toilet or behind a sink and that sort of stuff.
Very good question.
There's dozens of those things, and if you don't know, so do you let your contractor pick, or do you do that?
So you're talking about, there's 3 components that we don't buy material for. That's the EMPs, okay, electrical, mechanical, and plumbing. On those 3 things, we don't buy material from inside the wall, basically, okay? So any type of hosing, wiring, conduit, the brass fittings, sort of what you're talking about, all that has to be provided by the EMPs. But what we do provide is all the fixtures. I never let those people pick up the fixtures for me. I always provide the design pieces to the EMPs, but they provide the back end stuff.
So it is provided by the EMPs?
Who are the EMPs?
No, you said it's provided by the EMPs?
Yeah, they have to provide their own.
The contractor does?
Just those contractors, like EMPs,
I
just
get
those
it.
contractors have to provide that stuff. Because like you're saying, it's very true. For me to pick out, is this an 1/8 inch, 3/8 inch, you know, do you want to, what nipple size, you know, there's so many different things that you got to pick there. We got out of it and allowed the EMPs to do that piece of it. Okay. Hold on just a second, let me go to him.
So how do you deal with security having all
Great
that
question.
inventory?
Great question. So you're talking about security here. So for us, we do, on average, we hit about a $35,000 to $40,000 rehab per property. That's about how much we spend, okay? For us, and I'll show you some pictures in a second. For us, we do that in about 20 days. We'll go through about that. That's how fast we roll through these properties, okay? So for us, because we grow them that fast, we deliver all the materials at one time for us, the 95%, just because of the speed of which we're doing it. However, on the SKU system charts, we broke it down into rough-in materials and finished materials. So if it's going to take you more than 2-3 weeks to go through this job, then we say deliver all the rough-in materials first, and then deliver the finished materials into the project. Also, to understand this, we haven't had any theft from any of our job sites, which brings up a whole other point, which is this: if you're investing or flipping, I should say flipping, if you're flipping in an area that has a high level of theft, okay, then you may be the wrong area of what you're flipping in. Does that make sense? When I flip in a property, it's in a very, very good neighborhood that's going up in value, not a neighborhood that's going down in value. So for us dealing with theft, we protect more against the contractor stealing from us than we do from the neighbors stealing from us. Okay. I have one more question over here.
Yeah, like are your design, your tile and your
Yes.
toilet and your fixtures, are they all the same for every job?
No, very good question. When we first started and we were doing 3 jobs a year, 3 houses, 4 houses a year, it didn't really matter because by the time we did one, that was sold off and we're doing another one. Now the level we're doing, because we're saturating the inventory basically, we have about 12 different SKU sheets that we follow. So it's just a random, and we do all the way from Chicago to Indiana. So if someone's buying a house in Chicago, they're not looking in Indiana for the same property either. Similar to if you're buying a house in Santa Barbara, you're probably not looking in LA for the same property either. So what I put in, if I was in this area, what I put in LA, I could also put in Santa Barbara because no one's going to see those two. However, we use about 12 different SKU sheets. Inside the book there, I think there's 3 different SKU sheets that we use. It's also based on color palettes. So you have like a warm color palette, a cool color palette, and etc. So there's many different options or SKU sheets that we go off of to build the material out. Lastly, there's sort of a cool note here. One of the reasons we're playing with Home Depot, we work with them so much, is because they're taking this SKU concept and sort of this design in a box, basically, if you will. And we're working right now, so I don't know if I should say this or not, but we're working right now. It's been approved the first 4 levels to actually take our product, and Home Depot will carry basically our design. So we'll almost have like our own design, like Martha Stewart. If you go to Home Depot, Martha Stewart has her own design. They'll be this like their own, won't be financial managers, but they're calling our design, the letter R, for Rebecca, who designs all the material. I try to go with A designs, except for I'm colorblind, so it did no good to try to design all this material, right? All right, so let me keep moving. If ever seen the SKU system of how we do it, what we do is we take a lot of the thinking and all the decisions that come your way. We try and take them out and create systems that answer those decisions for you. Let me keep going here. I'm not going to cover this point. Organization. We're talking under create change under mindset. The 4 pillars here: organization or project planner. I'm going to skip that point. And we'll keep moving here. All right. Create capital. So we've covered a little bit of the create change. Create change is the mindset. It's the business. Running as a business. Get out of this deal-by-deal stuff. It's really a dead-end road that you're on. You have to run as a business. You have to know where you're starting. You have to know the finish line. You have to understand the 4 pillars that's going to build this business. Once you have those pieces in place, now let's start creating capital. What do you mean by creating capital for the next step here? This question. How many of you have, don't raise your hand on this one, how many of you have $1 million to go buy rental investments or rental properties right now? Okay? Again, don't raise your hand. When I started, I sure as heck did not have that much money to go buy rental properties. Although, if rental properties are my end game, and that's where I'm headed for, I have to have money so that I can go buy rental properties, right? So therefore, I have to create some capital in my life. Hence the reason, step 2 is creating capital. When I was dead broke, living in my parents' basement, I had to go start creating capital. How did I create capital? Linda, how much am I on time?
15 minutes?
15 minutes left.
12:30? I think is the end.
Yeah.
Or we're going to go but really, really fast here.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, that's the clock. That's the clock right there.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
clock.
All right, here we go. Hold on tight, we're going to go fast. Rehab properties. It's the absolute best way to create capital fast. So I rehab properties to create capital. I take a property from this to this. I make about an average of $30,000 per property. Understand the process that we're talking about. Here's the process. There's 4 pipelines of real estate business when it comes to flipping a property. You have the find it, the fund it, the fix it, and the flip it side. And every single property you do will flow from one pipeline to the next pipeline. It doesn't matter what state, where you're at, every single house from every single flip will go through those pipelines, okay? If you don't understand the process, if you don't understand the project, you can go try to figure out that one house. To be successful and be, wow, to create a business, okay, you have to understand these pipelines. If you understand these pipelines, you can flow the properties through there as much as you want to flow the properties through there. All right, here we go, it's great capital. So what are the exact repairs and upgrades you need to make to get the highest and best return on your investment? Now, this is a tricky question, okay? Why is our average days on the market 14 days while others are over 100 days? Let me keep going on. I'll come back to that question. Okay, so here we have a buyer, a homeowner. They come to the realization, the decision that they're going to buy a property, right? They talk to their partner, they say, okay, we're going to make this investment. We're going to buy this home, and we're going to move into this property. And this, we're going to grow old, and our kids are going to go to school, whatever it is. They're making a logical decision to buy this property. They're also making an emotional decision. It's also the biggest decision they've ever made, okay? Once they come to that realization they're going to buy a property, there's something that's in their head of what they're looking for. Does this make sense? So they're going to go look at properties. And when they go look at properties, they're looking for a certain thing. Do you know where they have this idea, where they get this idea from of what they're looking for? They're going to look at properties on the market, right? They're looking for something inside the property. Where they get these ideas, what they want inside the house. Magazines? Who said that one? HGTV. That good for nothing, low down. HGTV, TLC, design shows. Okay, they watch the design shows on TV and they say, "Hey, that's what I want. That's what my house looks like." And they have no idea how to do it. Okay, but that is what they leave their house with, or their apartment, and say, "This is what I'm looking for." Okay. Now, most investors, or I don't want to say most, a lot of investors still go with the philosophy of let's give them a blank wall, basically. Okay. You know what I mean? A blank wall, like beige tile and beige carpet and beige paint, and then say, well, I'm going to give them this beige house, and then let them just do whatever they want to with it. Okay. But when they left their house, what was in their head is on those TV shows they give me a blank beige house and I build off of it. No. In their minds, they have a design that says, I want that really cool, because they want to have the housewarming party, right? When the housewarming party comes over, they want to say, ha ha, screw you, my house is better than your house. Right? That's what they want other people, right? All right, let me back up. So here's a house in our area, a flipped house in our area that someone did. We do houses in our area, okay, so don't laugh at me here. But in our area, we do houses from about sales price, about $100,000 to about $160,000. That's our bread and butter, blue collar, middle class area in Chicago, Indiana. Indiana's more around the 100 to 120, and Illinois is a little bit higher. Okay, here's a property in Indiana of a flipper did that sells a property. Very simple, very normal in our area. Beige tile, oak cabinetry, laminate countertops, a little beautiful accent wall here, right? That he was trying to do. Okay, so as a buyer can have that house for $109,000. They can walk in this property, they can see this house for $109,000, or they can go to our house and see this house and get that house for $114,000. Okay? So which house do you think the buyer chooses?
That one.
That one for $109. Are you sure?
No,
it's $5,000 cheaper. $109.
No.
$114.
114.
You sure?
I'm positive.
Okay. So what we do as an investment company is we figure out what that buyer wants. We find a way to give that buyer what they want in our price range that we can do. And then we sell our houses above asking price, and as fast as we can get them on the market, our houses sell. Okay? Let's keep going here. I gotta go fast. 2 minutes. Okay, here's another beautiful property. Beige tile. That looks like familiar, right? That's that 57-cent tile from Home Depot, right?
Nice.
Here, let me give you a clue here. Sweet. Okay. Here's how you can find a rehab a property, right? You walk into the property and you walk in the kitchen and they have beige tile, 57-cent tile from Home Depot, right? You go to the guest bathroom, the hallway bathroom, and guess what's on the floor there? It's the same tile. Okay, brilliant. That's mind-blowing that you spent that much time on this property. And then you go to the master bathroom, and guess what's in the master bathroom? It's the same 57-cent tile. Let me tell you a secret. Nobody likes to eat and go to the bathroom that looks identical to each other. So when it comes to design, every piece of the house is like its own little piece. For example, if we use a certain piece of tile in the guest bathroom, we'll never use that tile in anywhere else in the property again. If we use it in the master shower, and just so you understand this, the floor and the shower are two different tiles. The guest bathroom and the shower are two different tiles. The kitchen, if you tile in the kitchen, is a different tile as well, all right? Although they all go inside of each other, right? All right, let me keep going here. Here's a little bit warmer color pattern. So again, it goes back to you have that one for whatever, $1.25 and $1.30. You can choose, all right? And here's a living room of a property, whatever, $1.25, and here's a living room of one of our living rooms here with the hardwood floors, and this is a different house here that has the same flooring. Okay. Point being, we give the buyers what they want. They give us what we want. And what is it that I want? Money, right? So all I have to do to really be successful in this game is understand what that person wants. And if I can understand what you want and give that to you, in return, I get what I want, which is money. If I can learn how to do that with a process or a system, I can pump out as many of those as I can, because there's plenty of buyers in the market right now. And I can sell mine as fast as they come. Let me keep moving here. Well, here's a great bathroom, right? Here's a classic investor right here. You got chrome here and then brass here. That's a contractor picking out the materials for you, okay? Hey, the doorknob works. Why am I going to get rid of it? Okay, it's fine. It works perfectly good. All right. Beige tile. Beige tile. There's the beige tile here. Oak cabinetry here. And then here's the bathroom we did. So we use this. This is 12 by 24. Another thing, we never use 12 by 12 tile in any of our bathroom. Any tile in any of our house, we ever use 12 by 12. Why don't I use 12 by 12? Because all my competitors use 12 by 12. And when the buyer walks in my house, I want the buyer to see, wow, this is not like anything else I saw today. Because what do? They go on the weekend, right? They go see 5, 6 properties in a row, right? When they walk in my property, it's not going to look the same, feel the same, smell the same. Anything about it will not be the same. I'm separating myself from all my competition, right? I understand the market, the boom after the bubble, the book, it talks about what type of houses on the market right now. You only really have 3 types of houses on the market. REOs, which they can't buy, because there's normally too much construction to them at this point, right? Number 2 is homeowner properties, which normally need TLC to them anyways, right? And number 3 is rehab properties, okay? So the rehab properties is really the biggest thing driving the market right now. So when it comes to rehab properties, what you have to do as an investor is separate yourself from all your competition, right? Let me keep moving. All right, here's the before and after bathroom. This is a really cool way to add some features to your property. I'll have to come back to that later. Okay. All right, let's walk through this. I'm going to try to teach a little bit about some things that we do for a property now. I'll show you some examples there. I'm going to try to teach a little bit of what we do here. All right, real quick. This is a house that we did. This house was a $295,000 sales price for properties, 4 bedrooms, finished basement, etc. Here we go. One thing you look at real quick is most investors or most houses use 2 exterior 2-color systems. Okay, they have normally the base of the house and then the trim or accent color, whatever that is. All right. Here's the same property, okay? The only difference is we always use what we call a 3-color paint system, because a 3-color paint system, it pulls that house off the street, basically. Instead of using beige and white, because what's all gutters, trim, fascia, softened on most investors' houses is white, right? Semi-gloss white, and they buy it off the shelves. We use 3-color paint systems. So you got a beige here, paint there. You got a navy blue paint right here. The garage door is navy blue. That's your accent color. And then your trim, fascia, softened gutters. That's more of an almond color, if you will. Again, I'm colorblind, so I can't promise you what color that is. But it is not white. So the only time we use a 4th color is on this front door right here. If we can't use like a wood door or the dental or something like that on it, then we switch over to the 4th color. Whatever that 4th color is, we'll only use it that one time, only on our front door, nowhere else we use that property, all right? Let me keep moving. Here's the staircase of the property. Very typical oak handrail, so forth, so on. Very typical house inside, all white right there as well. Here's the finished product of that same property, okay? Now, one thing quickly we use on our property, we always use 3-color paint system on the inside. If you walk away with one simple secret today, it'd be this. Move to a 3-color paint system on the inside of your property. 3 colors being the base of the house, the base color, the wall color, if you will, then your trim color, okay, your baseboards, casing, etc. And the 3rd color is your interior doors. If you look right here, that door, and that door, there's always a 3rd color. We used to paint everything. What do most investors paint their houses? Trim. Semi-gloss white, right? They go to Home Depot, they buy a 5-gallon bucket of semi-gloss white paint. They go there, they paint all the trim white, and they paint all the doors white, right? So if you look here, it's a little bit tough to tell these pictures, but this trim is not white. Rebecca, do you remember if you think of the paint colors, let me know. This trim is never white. You never put white trim. It is.
The wall color is Sandstone Cove.
Sandstone Cove is all Bear products, right?
The trim is Swiss Coffee.
Trim is Swiss Coffee.
And the door color is Garden Wall.
The door color is Garden Wall.
Garden
Okay,
Wall.
so just real quick, the point being is we use 3-color paint system on all of our properties, okay? All right, here's that same staircase going down. Down here you got tile floors. Here's another mistake investors make. you never want transitions on your floors, okay? The more transitions you have, you're always condensing the house. What that means is you walk into your property and you walk into and you have a tile when you walk in, and you walk over to the living room, which is carpet, and then you walk into the kitchen, which is a tile, or maybe your kitchen, your dining room are hard floors, and you walk to your bathrooms and a tile. The least amount of transition flooring you can have, the more fluid your house will flow inside of a property, okay? So on this property, when we brought it, we had a lot of slate tile right there, and there's the finished product. All we do is add hardwood floors, because all the other rooms down here are hardwood floors. So we ripped out the hardwood floors, ripped out the tile, added hardwood floors. Again, only reason is because it's transition. It flows not with the property, because instead of breaking it a piece little by little. Another thing is this, if you look right here, this used to be that oak handrail. If you remember the oak handrail system over there, we take the accent color of the property, that third color, instead of everything being white on the handrail. The accent color is the piece that we always add in special places wherever we can. Here's a fireplace, the tile fireplace. One of the things that we teach is there's three things when it comes to flipping properties. Number one is the opportunity to add value. Okay, you have to add value to a property for it to increase the value. I don't mean wow factors. Okay, wow factors would be point number 2. You have to have wow factors. Point number 3, though, that really separates us, is we try to find X factors. Okay, so the X factor is, look, everybody expects you to have a nice kitchen. Okay, so when a buyer walks in, look, that's a wow factor, which I would agree with. So your kitchen is your wow factor. Okay, they expect that. Okay? So you have to go above and beyond and find something else you can give them that they're not initially expecting when they walk in the property. Right? So one of the things that we take is the fireplaces whenever we have a fireplace. And here's the flip side of that fireplace. So there's the before, which is all stone, and there's the after. Now if you notice here, another thing. This tile right here was never used again in the property again. It's 9x6 tile. Not 12 by 12 tile, 9x6 tile. Okay? Other thing real quick, let me go to this house. Picture, if you look here, we always use a lighter grout on this tile, a different shade of grout basically. A lot of people try to blend in the tile and the grout so the tile and the grout really matches. We like to more box it in. If you look right here, you see how sort of every piece is almost boxed in now? Instead of if it was a gray grout, it all just blend in as one gigantic piece. So try to box out your tile basically. This is linen tile as well. This is a special order from Home Depot. If you were to rub your fingers across that, it has like linen pieces running up and down it. Very, very similar to like a hotel feel. If you stay at hotels, Hyatt, wherever it is, they use a lot of linen tile throughout the property, all right? Here's your kitchen. An opportunity to add value and wow factors. I don't have time to get into all this, but I have 2 minutes left. There's no way I'm going to finish.
That's okay. Take your time.
Take my time? Okay. Now, I'm going to go fast because everybody's hungry here. Okay, so here's your kitchen. I'm going to skip how to add value, but if you notice here, there's this is actually eat-in kitchen right here. On this piece of it, that's the kitchen over there. Right there was your stove, and right there was your microwave on this property, okay? And then this right here is your dining room wall right here. On the other side of this, where this blue is the dining wall. Right here is a double window, which is the eat-in area, and there's your finished kitchen on the flip side of this property, okay? So there's your before, and there's your after. And when you talk about opportunity to add value to a property, here's adding value. If I keep this kitchen the way that it is, I'm not adding value to the kitchen. That makes sense? In our area, on a $300,000 house, which is a higher-end house, what does everybody want on a $300,000? This area makes it $600,000. But when you buy that type of house, you want a grand, luxurious kitchen, right? So if I leave this kitchen the way that it is, I am not adding value to the property. I may make it wow, right? I can take this kitchen and make it beautiful here, but I'm not adding value to the property. Okay? There's a big difference between wow factors and adding value. It's a mistake a lot of investors make. So we did close this off and made all this the kitchen. This was closed off here. We spread all the way out to make all this a kitchen through here. Okay. This is not 12 by 12 because we never use 12 by 12. When we use this tile, we never use this tile again. This is 16 by 16 tile. Again, it has a linen feel to it. You sort of see the stripes going against there. It's a stagger pattern there. Okay. Let me keep going. This is from the. If I'm standing in that little eat-in area there, this is a little dining. Oh crap! Sorry. That's a little dining room light. So I'm standing in that eat-in area there. That's what it looked like. And there it is now I'm standing now in the dining room, okay? So the dining room is behind me where you guys are, and this is the kitchen here for the property, okay? There's another piece of it, and there it is. Oh, another thing is photos, how you take your photos. A big mistake that investors make is they let the real estate agent take the photos to their properties, okay? Do you know where the sale begins on your property or flip? Website. It begins on the website, okay? It does not begin at Curb Appeal. In 1994, it began on Curb Appeal. It's all based off of Curb Appeal. It's not based on Curb Appeal. It's based off of websites, right? So what we do is we hire a professional photographer, goes out. This is a professional photographer here. This right here we actually cut. So this is a panoramic view. But when a buyer looks at the property, the buyer gets the agent's listings, right? And they go through them and they see the different photos. When they see the average photo and then they see this photo, it's enough to make them say, I'm going to go schedule that one. I'm going to go see that property right there. That makes sense. So photos are extremely important. I'll teach more about that at a different time. This is that dining room. There used to be a wall right here. Remember that dining room wall I showed you? See this on this side right here, that's that wall. So it goes all the way across down here. And here it is now, all this is going to open up to the dining room. Okay, this is what we talk about opportunity to add value. Opportunity to add value and wow factor is not the same thing. Okay, and then thirdly, you have the X factor. Let me keep going. Here's the dining room I'm standing in now. That's that wall that's there. Inside there was the kitchen, and there on the flip side now. So now I'm in the dining room, and I had built this island inside here and everything else. 20 wow factor to sell a house. Countertop specs by different tile in each bathroom, designer paint, doorknobs, hinges, 2-panel beaded doors, master bedroom. You're never going to get that anyways, right? So here you go. You see the 20 wow factors. I used to do this, and everybody would try to pull their phones. That's when everybody starts pulling their iPhone, trying to snap pictures as fast as they can. You were the first guy to ever snap pictures of my complete failure in life, so I'm very excited. So you see the 20 wow factors that we use. We don't use all of them on every single property. This is what we base our decisions off of. Okay, if you put in your phone, you text 86677. This is the number that you send it to, and this is the message that you put inside of it. SBREIA. First name and your email. I don't need your last name, just your first name and your email. You have to put FM for financial momentum, REIA, and then you have to put your first name and then you put your email address. It will then automatically send you all these 20 wow factors. It will also send you all the slides from today. So we have about 100-something slides here. It'll send you all the slides as well. Questions back?